Rivers State remains one of Nigeria's most politically consequential states because of its strategic position in the Niger Delta, its oil and gas resources, Port Harcourt economy importance, and the influence of its political actors at both state and the federal levels. The state's politics has been shaped in recent years by intense rivalry among political blocs, particularly the struggle for control of the state's political structure and the relationship between Governor Siminalayi Fubara and former governor of the state and currently the FCT minister, talking about the person of Barrister Nyesom Wike. Attention has increasingly shifted towards a political realignment and the 2027 elections. Fubara's decision to withdraw from the 2027 governorship race has altered the political calculations, while Wike's political network remains an important factor in determining the state's next political direction. Well, to help us even unpack all of these issues, tonight I'm being joined by Charles Gold, Honorable Charles Gold Nachi, a political analyst, and he'll be helping us put these issues in perspective. But first, good evening, Charles Gold, and it's a delight to have you join me on Korero.
Yeah, good evening. I'm happy to be here once again.
Yeah, Charles Gold, it's a good time to talk about Rivers State politics, because since 1999, Rivers State has largely revolved around powerful political figures from Peter Odili to Omeha, that's Celestine Omeha, then down to Rotimi Amechi, Nyesom Wike, and right now, Fubara. Now, records shows that political disagreements in Rivers State have often resulted in defections and prolonged legal battles, while following recent reconciliation moves among key political actors. As Rivers State truly returned to political stability, or are they underlining the issues merely, perhaps people will say, postponing the evil days, as it were? Have Rivers State truly returned back to stability when it has to do with its politics so far, looking at the recent reconciliation between, a lot of people say, father and son? Help us even, let's begin the conversation from that point.
Well, thank you so much. I'm happy to be here once again. I will say that Rivers State, as a state, they are on the path of progress because of the recent declaration made by Fubara, the current governor of Rivers State, who on his own, not being compared by anybody, decided to, return back to his godfather in the person of His Excellency Barrister Nyesom Wike. After 3 years of political battles, which made Rivers State to be backward, in development, because they say when two elephants fight, na grass will suffer it. So within these 3 years of political battle between Nyesom Wike and similarly Fubara, it really affected the development of Rivers State. So it was other citizens of Rivers State that suffered it. So, but the statement made by Fubara last week, where on his own he declared that he is going to align himself with the Rainbow Coalition being championed by His Excellency Nyesom Wike. And he also told his supporters, not just that he just made that declaration only for himself, he also instructed his supporters that they should align with him. In fact, on his own, he said that he has returned back to his family where he belongs. So I think that statement he made will have a way of returning back peace in Rivers State, and it also has a way of returning back progress in Rivers State, which they have lost for the past 3 years ago.
Well, Honorable Charles Gold, Fubara made a statement. He said, time for war is over. It's time for peace in Rivers State. But a lot of persons felt dissatisfied with the decision of Fubara, knowing fully well that in 2023, towards October 2023, the rift started between himself and his godfather, his political godfather. And that also lasted till about March, where he was suspended, March 18th, 2025, where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have to call for a state of emergency in Rivers State. Now, a lot of resources have gone. A lot of persons may have also sacrificed their peace for what we have today. Right now, he's saying, do you think at this point in time that this is he has deceived the good people of Rivers State? Can we be right to go to toe that part, to say that he has betrayed the trust imposed on him, even because a lot of people from Rivers State even were rallying around him in order to support his bid? Is this a betrayal, a political betrayal?
Well, I will not call it a political betrayal. You know, in life, once you are anything you're good, anything you do, whether you are doing good, you must have people who will be supporting you. So whether you are doing bad, you also have people who support you too. So it's all about personal interest. So those people who were supporting Fubara when he was a kind of fighting against his godfather, Nyesom Wike, they were doing it based on their own personal interests. Because they felt that if Fubara be in the same line, in the same page with Nyesom Wike, you know, it will have a way of, you know, making them not to benefit what they have been benefiting. So they decided to join Fubara, you know, to make sure that he will be off from any form of a relationship with the man that made him governor of Rivers State, so that they will be benefiting from Fubara, you know, without any form of interference from Wike. So now he has come back, will I say, to his senses. And just like prodigal son, you know, we read in the Bible days. So there was a story in the Bible days that says that a prodigal son, you know, took everything the father have given him and went to a far country.
At the detriment of people of Rivers State. He has returned back to his family at the detriment of people that gave him their support.
No.
And has even pledged his own support, his support for his backing for Kingsley Chinda to become the sole governor. Chinda right now is like the only governor in Nigeria that has already won the election before the election even commenced. Are you saying it's not a betrayal, a political betrayal?
No. The returning back of Fubara is for the interest of peace and for the progress of Rivers people.
At the detriment of
No. For the fact
the Rivers State House of Assembly was burnt. Rivers State, a lot of complexes were also shut down, protests here and there, a conflict of interest until the Supreme Court took a stand. Are you saying it's not a betrayal?
The question is, those people whom you say Fubara have betrayed, are they Rivers people? If they are Rivers people, and the return of Fubara is for peace and progress of Rivers people. So if they are Rivers people, there's nothing like betrayal there. So because the progress and the success of Rivers State, they also benefit from it. The success and progress of Rivers State. So if the Rivers people, because the reconciliation of Fubara to his godfather is for the interest of peace and progress of the state. He didn't do it for his own personal gain. No. He said, I am for peace. Everything is for Rivers people, because it was Rivers people that elected him to be the governor of Rivers State. So when they were fighting, Rivers people were suffering the fight between him and his godfather. So now he has decided to come back to his godfather. It's for the interest of peace and progress. So there's nothing like betrayal here, because those people, they are also part of Rivers State. So if they start to move forward and progress, they will benefit.
Honorable Charles Gold, you're saying that Rivers State people have become victims of elite political competition rather than beneficiaries of democratic governance.
Seriously, when the battle was going on, there was no meaningful development in Rivers State.
All of this, the man that championed that cause, the two elephants that fought, one have gone to reconcile, forgetting that they have about 23 local governments in Rivers State, and about a few of those local governments were standing by Fubara. Now he has surrendered his will. He has surrendered himself to the Rainbow Coalition. You think that this is not a betrayal of trust? Can one say at this point that we can trust Fubara in the future to guarantee political success?
Let me tell you, the step Fubara have taken is a step in the right direction. It's a good step for the interest of River State, for the progress of River State. If Fubara did not take this step, I can assure you that the battle would have continued. So, they say when two elephants fight, the grass will suffer. Two captains can never be in a boat. So it's either you are the driver and someone will be the passenger. So the governor of River State submitting to the man who picked him up. Don't forget that nobody knows Fubara. Before, His Excellency Nyesom Wike picked him up. Nobody knows him. He picked him up, he campaigned for him, and made him who he is today. So if he has decided to go back to his father, in fact, in his own word, he said, I have returned back to my family. He said, I belong to that family. And that is the family he belonged to. So the Rainbow Coalition is a household name when it comes to political movement in River State, which is being championed by His Excellency Nyesom Wike. So if he has decided to return back to his godfather, just like as the prodigal son did in the Bible days, he said, I have erred, I have made mistake, I was misled. Therefore, let me go back to my father. I will tell him that I'm sorry. So I believe in the secret. Fubara must have gone to his father. In fact, before coming to the open place to make a declaration that he now want to realign himself to the Rainbow Coalition, he must have gone secretly and said, I'm sorry, sir. Forgive me. I was misled by people whom I thought that they meant well for Rivers people. Don't forget that somebody in the House of Assembly, one from Imo State, was always going to River State, singing songs celebrating Fubara when he was, when he was fighting against his father. So immediately they discovered that it not work to their own favor. All of them hands off. In fact, somebody said that no more money to share in River State. That the time of sharing money is over. There's no more money to share in River State. So everybody, when they see that this thing will not work, all of them hands off. So Fubara must have gone back to the father and said, I'm sorry, sir.
So, Honorable Charles, looking at his decision from a political perspective, is Fubara now politically stronger, or has the settlement fundamentally changed its political leverage?
United we stand, divided.
So you're saying that Fubara has become more stronger politically?
As Fubara have realigned himself to the Rainbow Coalition, to his godfather, Nyesom Wike, he will be more stronger than when he was fighting his godfather. River State will also be more progressive, more successful than when both elephants were fighting. I said there was no any good, meaningful development in River State. Everything was kept on standstill. For 3 years, he was the governor. Budget was not assigned into law. For 3 years. For 3 years. Nothing was working. There was no House of Assembly to pass budget. All the plans the governor of River State had, His Excellency, similarly, Fubara had, but he didn't have funds to execute all those projects. So everything was on the standstill. Forget about little was doing here and there, but there was no any stable and meaningful development going on in River State. So him coming back to his godfather is for both of them to team up to move River State forward.
You say there were no projects going on.
No, I said meaningful development. I use the word meaningful development.
Quite a lot of under Fubara's administration.
I use.
So you're saying all the projects.
The right one. I said meaningful.
All the projects while the tussle was going on, they were not meaningful.
Meaningful development.
So there were
little, something small here and there. But there was no meaningful development going on in River State.
What do you mean by meaningful development?
Because the budget was not assent into law. There was no any capital fund released to execute so many budgets. I'm telling you. So Rivers people were suffering it. Civil servant will tell you what they're going through in River State. Civil servant will tell you. In fact, there was no enough fund because it is when budget is being passed, it will get to the civil servant. Contractors will get everything. Then the ordinary market woman on the street Because when the civil servant get money, they come and buy something for the other market man and market women on the street. But once there was no any meaningful development going on in River State, everybody affected, it was affecting everybody. Everybody. If anybody asks on this, they will tell you, say they have not passed budget. The same thing with the federal here. The same thing with Nigeria. Once they have not passed budget, if every civil servant you talk, they will tell you, we are still waiting, you know, until when they pass the budget. Because the budget connects to everything. The budget connects to the development, the budget connects to the market on the street, everything is connected to the budget. So, under 3 years, there was no any meaningful development in River State. And River people suffered it. So, His Excellency, similarly for Bora, coming back to his father, is for the interest of River people. So that the River people will no longer continue suffering like the way they have done it in past 3 years. I have my own brother who is living in River State. I'm always, discussing with him what is happening. He will tell me how things have been stranded. Things are not moving. Things are not working. The battle between Nyesom Wike and Fubara is affecting everything in River State. My ear was on ground in River State. I was receiving information to know what was happening in River State.
Charles, let's talk about, because many analysts like yourself believe that Rivers politics is no longer only about the state, but has now become a national political chessboard ahead of 2027 election. Do you agree with this?
From the federal level, yeah, every president on seat will always have interest on every state. So President Tinubu will not be exceptional.
Are we hearing the voice of, or are we saying the
President Tinubu will not be exceptional?
Are hearing the voice of Jacob?
When President Goodluck Jonathan was on seat, he also had interest in River State. So nobody will be on the seat of power as a president of Nigeria that will have interest. It's not only on River State. As I speak to you, even in Kano, even in Lagos. So, as a sitting president, you have interest. So, therefore, it is your duty to look into what is happening in this state. You not allow the state to be on fire, to be, to be in a state of disaster. So, you have to look into it, because once any state is on fire, it also affects the entire nation. There's a one proverb people say that one finger touches oil, all the whole fingers will be oil. It affects all the whole finger. So it's a right thing for president, the city president, to have interest on a particular state, not only one state, in all the states in the federal.
Well, Charles Gold, Rotimi Amechi almost fought Peter Odili, and because he felt he wasn't ready for this godfatherism modalities. Nyesom Wike also challenged Rotimi Amechi when he tried to play godfather in the state. We've seen Fubara towing the same path. And right now, you're saying that it's okay for them to reconcile. But then, while Rotimi Amechi was the Minister of Transportation, Wike was working in Rivers State. And for once, Rotimi Amechi never tried to stop projects in Rivers State. Neither did he try to even, at any point, try to take over the grassroots of governance in Rivers State. It was a fair, level playing field for everybody to play in. This brings us to that point where we begin to ask, were the leaders and the fathers of Rivers State, godfathers as what would come, were they fair to the governor by interfering in the process almost for 3 years? And right now you're saying it is okay for him to go and return back to the godfather. Were the godfathers fair to him by interrupting the process for 3 years?
Well, the scenario that played out during the time of Wike was the governor of Rivers State. And when His Excellency Rotimi Amechi was the Minister of Transportation during the regime of late President Muhammadu Buhari, it's not the same thing playing out now. Number one, Rotimi Amechi was not the one that made Wike the governor of Rivers State, which I've said it over and over. Rotimi Amechi had his own candidate that was defeated by Wike. That should be put aside. that was defeated by Wike. Now, Wike brought somebody who we campaigned for, sponsored, funded, to make him the governor of Rivers State. So this is a two different scenario. So the one of Amechi and Wike is not the same thing. Then secondly, Wike has, will I say, control highest both influence and power than that of Amechi. Yes.
Yes. Both of them ruled for 8 years.
Both of them ruled for 8 years. No. I'm talking about on the side of being a minister. You know that he was just a minister of transportation. He does not have much. He didn't have much influence. Do not need to be the FCT minister. FCT minister. It's like being a state governor. You have your own budget. You just like state budget also. So the influence of Wike and that of Amechi, they're not related.
So you're saying at this point that it is fair
Wike
for Wike to, or for alleging that Wike and other godfathers in the state, including the lawmakers, disrupted governance for a couple of years. Well, it's fair on the governor.
Well, just like I said, I'm not here to support what must have happened in the past. The battle that has happened in the past. I'm here, speaking up for justice, for peace, and for the progress of Rivers people. I keep saying it. I keep saying that these two people should have come together and reconcile for the interest. It's not for their own interest, but for the interest of Rivers people. Because the purpose of governance is for the security of life and property. So when both of them were fighting, there was bombing here and there was issues here and there. Just like you rightly mentioned, House of Assembly were burnt down. So many things happened. So if they had continued, I'm telling you, Rivers State will have been on fire. So I have been advocating for both of them to come together and settle their differences for the interest of Rivers people. So doing it now is for the interest of Rivers people. It's not for their own interest. For the interest of Rivers people, which I have been advocating for over the years, that they should come together and they should bury their differences. They should put Rivers people in their picture. They should remember Rivers people. These are the people that queue under the sun, under the rain, to cast their vote to elect them. So they should forget about their selfish interests and come together for the progress of Rivers people. Well, so I'm not here to support
points taken.
Okay.
There's been the speculation that the reconciliation has altered the old political calculations of the APC, the PDP, and emerging opposition political parties. From a political analyst point of view, help us understand, have the political scenario in Rivers State been altered right now?
Well, I will not just stand there and say that the political calculation in Rivers State has been altered. The reason is because we still have other political parties in Rivers State. We have ADC there, we have NDC, which they have their own candidate. So the coming together of Fubara and Wike has nothing to do with altering of politics in Rivers State or political calculation in Rivers State. No. So their coming together is on their own
you recall
political side.
The governor came out to say all the supporters should support Kingsley Chinda.
Yeah, and he did not say that supporters of ADC.
Looking at that statement, he has joined the Rainbow Coalition and is backing Chinda Kingsley. And of course, you know that Chinda is a product of the APC, the PDP, and by extension, the Rainbow Coalition, which a lot of political parties are umbrellaed under. Now, you're saying the political calculation in Rivers State has not been altered?
No. It has nothing to do with political calculation in Rivers State. whether APC and PDP have marched together under Rainbow Coalition. That did not stop other political parties to continue, challenging the political positions in Rivers State. We have ADC that is being led by His Excellency Rotimi Amechi. They have the members of for contesting for National Assembly, State House of Assembly, and other political positions. They have the governorship candidate. They will have NDC. They have the governorship candidate. They also have the members of House of Assembly. So the coming together of Fubara and Wike has nothing to do with the political coalition in Rivers State, because other states, other political parties are there, working more strong to challenge political positions, political seats in Rivers State. So their coming together has nothing to do with will not have any effect or any effect on other political parties.
Well, there is another angle to the story right now. Speculations also says that Fubara came out to openly agree to join the Rainbow Coalition just to get the lawmakers to his side and also get Wike to approve him. As soon as the budgetary provisions are made and everything is set, he will go back to, he will join other political platform and front other candidates. Looking at this, should Rivers people be afraid over this reconciliation?
People are good in speculations, and speculations are not realities. So I can't come here and be talking about people's speculations.
Help us even look at it. Should Rivers people be worried?
I like focusing on realities. Just I don't like talking on speculations. But the truth is, if the speculations happen to be true, that means that Fubara will be shooting himself on the foot.
How do you mean?
Yeah. He will be shooting. Don't forget that Fubara would have been impeached, except the intervention of Mr. President. He would have been impeached. So the Senate House of Assembly are still there. So any mistake he made, it will be used against him.
So if the budget is passed and he gets a lot of favor.
The budget will be passed
from the House of Assembly, and there's funds to go around.
No.
Please help us.
In fact, based on what I read, that the House of Assembly, something was approved for them allegedly. Something was approved for them allegedly, so that their own interest was also met before him coming to present the state budget allegedly. So now, even after passing it by the State House of Assembly, I don't think that Governor Fubara will now ask more strong than before in order to kind of decamp from the Rainbow Coalition he has openly declared support or declared to be part of the family. He can't do such a thing. He cannot do it. How many months remaining for him to step down? How many months? Less than 1 year now, he will step down.
But you cannot predict.
So under this 1 year, if I am him, he will focus on the side of peace. Let him finish his first tenure and go home as a happy man, as a peaceful person. Fubara has been a peaceful governor, a peaceful person. Forget about people pushing him around. All the mistakes he has made, all these 3 years, it was not done by him. I can bet my money that all the mistakes Fubara made, all these 3 years, it was not done by him. Somebody were remote controlling him.
Well, you can't categorically say that.
I'm telling you.
You can't categorically
say that. People were remote controlling him.
You can't categorically say that.
So that's why I have personally written.
You are not in camp. You are not in the Fubara's camp.
I personally written.
You categorically say that, but
on my social media handle for His Excellency to forgive him.
Well, let's move away from that conversation. Posterity will judge all of these antecedents because we're setting an agenda for others to follow. In Rivers State, the political map is being drawn for posterity to judge. Now, if Fubara is compelled to do just one term, what precedent are we setting for incoming and other governors coming into Rivers State? Does it mean that governors can literally be manipulated or be convinced or be even compelled to do one term going forward in Rivers State? Are we setting that precedent in Rivers State?
Well, the truth is that being a governor for even a 1 week, being a governor, you have created a history. You know what it means to be a governor. Was it not years ago during the time of former President Olusegun Obasanjo that Jejo Kocha was begging for him to allow you to be just governor for just, was it 2 days? Sorry, for you to be president of this country for just 2 days. That your name entered in that book, in that history of Rivers State, that you were governor in this state. So it's not necessary that you must be first time, second time
so
governor.
What precedent are we setting in Rivers State?
Do you remember former governor of Ekiti State, Fayose? He was a governor for first tenure, and he did not come back for second tenure. So later on, when things balanced, he came back to complete his second tenure.
Likewise, Peter Obi.
The same thing.
Yeah.
The same thing. And other various states. So it's not proposed that you must be first and second time governor as stretch.
So what precedent are we setting? If people that did 2 term right now are on the necks of governors, serving governors, and compelling them to yield to their bidding, otherwise, because in your word, that they pick their political form. They literally sponsored their campaign, and as such, they have the whip and caprice to compel them to do their biddings. What precedent are we setting for our nascent democracy?
If I am privileged to be a governor of a state, 1 tenure is enough for me. I can't be a selfish leader. A state that has millions of people, and one person wants to remain there for 8 years.
But others were there for 8 years.
Personality.
Others were there for 8 years.
Yeah. Oh, yes, others did.
Yes.
Don't forget that in the same Rivers State, to have a governor that was there for just 3 months. Celeste Omega.
Yeah.
Only 3 months he spent. And since then, he have never come back again. He have not come back again to say he's contesting for anything. 3 months. But he's still eating pension. When former governor was there, yes, Wike. Yeah, you was still eating pension. Seriously. So being a governor for 1 week, you have created a history that in the midst of millions of people in the state, you are mad to be a governor, to be the governor of millions of people in the state.
So when you have opportunity of being a governor for 2 terms, you should count it worthy.
For me, that is selfishness. That is selfishness.
So if opportunities avail itself for you to be the governor for 8 years,
don't forget
saying that they should not embrace it.
Don't forget, in South Africa, we have Nelson Mandela, who was privileged to be the president for 1 tenure. I didn't bother himself going back again. I don't know what Africans gained, he's struggling in remaining in power for years. He remained in power for years. Use the privilege you have. Whether or not is not in Imo State. Former governor Emeka Yedioha was for 8 months. He was governor for that state for 8 months. So if you are privileged and you happen to be a governor for just 4 years, 4 years is so big. 4 years is too long.
So the years in office should be selected, and a few should not be.
Let me tell you
that privilege to enjoy the 8 years.
Let me tell you, if Fubara has gotten a ticket,
they count it worthy that they are even in office for 4 years. Meanwhile, they have opportunity of even exploring 8 years.
4 years is enough as a governor for you to explore, for you to bring out development, meaningful development for the state.
In Rivers State.
Let me tell you, if Fubara had picked form, no mind any political party, if he had picked form. Picking form is not assurance that you want to win. You can pick form. They used to defeat sitting governors. President Goodluck Jonathan was a sitting president and was defeated.
Why I'm particularly asking is because whatever happens in Rivers State will spread to the south part of Nigeria, southern part of Nigeria. And by extension, it will become the order of the day across the country. So is that the precedent that Rivers State is setting, that a governor that is seated, if because his form was picked by some, what's the tendency right now in Rivers State that Kingsley Chinda will also, the same thing happening to Fubara will not also replicate itself? Is that the precedent we're setting in Rivers State?
It's not a precedent. Now, let me also remind you now.
Please.
That is what do you call it, motion that is going on in the National Assembly for 6 years tenure. That's single tenure of 6 years. Single tenure of 6 years. So that's to say, for you to be a governor, a sitting governor, or you go for just one tenure, it's not a crime. You must not do first tenure and second tenure. So if that law finally, pass through first and third reading, become a law in our country, nobody will be talking about first and second tenure. So there's not like a precedent in Rivers State. The truth is that 4 years is enough for you to deliver your mandate for the people of the state you are leading. 4 years is enough. But we have issues in Nigeria, selfishness. People will just be doing, anyhow within the first tenure. And under the first tenure, you manage to do some work. The second tenure is for you to, pack the resources, because you don't say you are going to say bye-bye.
Well,
so that's why we have corruption in this country.
Let's not go to that path tonight, Charles Gold. Of course, even the National Assembly issue we'll come back to that conversation because we're still following the bill to see where it takes us to. But looking forward, even in Rivers State, if the current political tensions are not fully resolved, what risk do they pose to election, security, and voters' participation? If this issue, although Fubara said, I've returned back to my family, but then families also have their own internal wrangling and internal disputes. If the lawmakers decide, although you're part of the family, but then we still disagree with your policies, and all of this internal division and tensions keep going unresolved, what risk could they pose to elections, security, and voters' participation in Rivers State?
Let me tell you, His Excellency Nyesom Wike is a very good man with a good heart. He's a man that easily forgives people. But though he's a man that once he tell you his yes is yes, his no is his no. So once he's fighting and you come back to say, oh, I'm sorry, he has forgiven you. He's such a very nice man with a good heart. And he's not a selfish leader. So as he's forgiving you, bringing you back, he will also accommodate your interests, but may not really be 100%. So Fubara coming back to his family, as he has said on the national television, that he has returned back to his family. I believe that His Excellency Nyesom Wike will be kind enough to accommodate him. He will also be kind enough to call his full soldiers, the state assembly members, to calm them down and say, oh, he's our own. Let's carry him along. Me personally, I told you, I have made a post where I begged him, His Excellency, say, please, sir, forgive him, carry him along. In fact, I even advocated for federal appointment for him, for Fubara, for accepting, for throwing on the side of peace. Because if this battle continue before general election next year, definitely there will be war in the state. That is where the voters, the security will not be assured. The security will not be assured. So there will be peace in Rivers State. Because the two gladiators will make sure that they put the state on fire. So him realizing it that election is fast approaching, there is need for us to, put aside our differences. Let's come together as a family, unite as a family, so that the voters will not entertain fear, so that the Rivers people will experience peace like never before, so that there will also be meaningful development in the state. So I think we should give it to Fubara. We should give it to him.
Well, a lot of people will say that he did that because he holds no political relevance in Rivers State as it stands today. You don't think so? That's why he threw in the towel.
Let me tell you something. Fubara is the man of the people. People love him. I must tell you the truth. People appreciate his simplicity. Forget about those who says that the step you have taken will have a way of affecting them. Forget about those people who are not happy. When you take right decision, people will be offended. When you take wrong decision, people also be offended. So there's nothing you do in this life that everybody will be happy with you. So the step you have taken is for the interest of Rivers people. So whether those who feel that the step will have a negatively influence on them.
The statement is that he holds no political relevance in Rivers State. That's why he decided to throw in the towel. Because come to
let's not conclude.
But that is a statement.
No. He's a sitting governor. He's a sitting governor of the state.
Does he hold any political relevance?
He's a sitting governor of the state.
Going by the Rainbow Coalition, can Fubara pinpoint a candidate?
Somebody was saying that
we should vote for this candidate, probably from APC or PDP, and people from Rivers State will listen to him. Or can Fubara pick a form in Rivers State and contest independently as a governor, sitting governor, and they will get 90% of the votes in Rivers State? Does he hold political relevance?
Someone was saying that Fubara would have joined another political party in order to fight his godfather. You know, when something is happening, there are people who are happy with the war that was going on in Rivers State. The people that are happy.
So you're saying he holds political relevance in Rivers State?
A governor, a sitting governor, has influence.
A governor that
sitting governor
literally lost the APC tickets in a state as a sitting governor. A sitting governor that decamped from PDP to APC, and it doesn't have a bearing in PDP. Neither does he have any political stronghold in the All Progressive Congress. Are you saying he's a sitting governor and he has political relevance? Well, let's take that to be your own perspective of what you mean by political relevance in this instance.
A sitting governor has political influence. Whether he picked governorship ticket of any political party.
You saw what played out for second term. When Wike went for 23 local governments in Rivers State for his thank you tour in Rivers State. People came out in mass to welcome Wike because, according to them, he plays the grassroots politics.
If Fubara call a meeting today now, the same people that attended His Excellency Wike's meeting,
invariably he holds strong political.
He has influence in Rivers State. He has influence in Rivers State.
Well, please.
So he holds influence in Rivers State. So we should not use because of it not pick from this and that to conclude does not have influence. No. A city governor has influence. Let him organize rally now. You will see that he holds influence. Let Fubara call for rally. Call for any political meeting now. You will see that he has influence. Seriously. So let's not use what happened to just use it to conclude or to judge him that does not already know it. Use influence as a sitting governor.
Well, again, the timing for which Fubara decided to throw the towel seems very short. Few months to when he's going to vacate the office, less than a year. Do you see light at the end of the tunnel, even his administration, to be able to do what he has unable to do? He has been unable to do for the last 3 years. Can he accomplish those tasks in a few months left?
First, let me tell you that Fubara is a happy man, and he has done the right thing by realigning himself to the family that made him governor, to the man that made him governor, and to the Rainbow Coalition. In fact, he said that my family.
So the people that voted him in, should they be anticipating also?
Now, the point I try to make is this.
Please, right.
He have done the right thing. And this step he have taken, number one, the what do you call it? The budget will be passed, which will enable him to carry out some of his political promises, agendas, before the expiration of his tenure in office. So he stand on the better position to do more before he will hands off as the governor of the River State. The number two is, reconciling with his godfather will give him safe landing. It will give him safe landing, both covering. I tell you, Fubara is the wisest person.
Well,
the step they're taking prove that he's a wise governor.
Charles Gold, I wish we had more time to even dig deep into this conversation. Before I let you go, you say there's light at the end of the tunnel for Rivers people right now.
As I speak to you now, peace has returned in Rivers State. Meaningful progress will take place in Rivers State. The people of Rivers State can sleep with their two eyes closed. As I speak to you now. So there's going to be meaningful development, progress in Rivers State. Both parties have come together. In fact, in my post, I said that Rivers State will experience peace, will experience progress, will experience unexpected development. More than 3 years they have been in fight in Rivers State.
Charles Gold, it's a good way to leave the conversation there tonight. But I want to say thank you so much for finding out time to be with us here on Korero.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for your time.
But viewers, this is how far we can go tonight on the show. Do not forget that you can leave your thoughts, you can leave your comments on our various social media handle currently showing on your screen. And you can also download the RapidTV app from your Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcast. I am Godwin Sunday. Do enjoy the rest of your night rest. Bye-bye for now.